Nam yo ho ning ge cho 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 nam yo ho ning ge.
Hi, I'm Margaret. For those of you who've never visited this blog, this is where we apply Buddhist concepts and philosophy to the problems and issues of everyday life. And today, we're going to be talking about how do you know if you're letting the universe have your back? Goals are a mixed blessing. We have to set them, but if we're not very careful, they can overshadow that quiet inner voice from within, the universal self that will guide us step by step. We have to be willing to set our goals, our dreams, and our desires, and then release them, and let the universe figure out how to bring them to fruition. In this vlog, I'm going to share some of the things I've learned about letting the universe do its job. And the first thing I really want to talk about is how our ego gets in the way. Our ego is our fearful self, and it gets in the way all the time. It thinks it knows how to do everything. It makes you rely on your will and not use the wisdom from that inner self. You may find yourself rigidly over-planning, holding tightly onto things about how they're going to be done, controlling every aspect. You could find yourself obsessing about the goal, anxiously watching for progress, and fretting when the timeline isn't your own. And you insist on controlling every aspect of your life. We all do these things from time to time because we're afraid. We're afraid of what will happen to us if we don't get what we need. Unfortunately, all this forcing, controlling behavior only gets in the way of the universe doing its job. Remember, it's your job to set the goal. It's the job of the universe to work out how to get there. And you have to let the universe do its work. No one knows how a goal is going to work out when they set it. So you're not the only person. Nobody knows. We have to learn to listen to that inner guidance and be able to recognize when the universe is communicating with us. When we listen, we'll be guided beautifully, step by step. We need to recognize when we've cut off that inner communication through relying on our own will, manipulating and controlling the outcome. So how does our universal self talk to us? The first way it talks to us is through synchronicity. The universe makes these marvelous little coincidences happen. Things that you just can't believe really happened, and yet they did. They might show up like a simple one would be chanting for a parking spot. Seeing the street with all those parking places full, and then just as you come up to your destination, a car pulls out right in front of where you were going. Right in front. One of those little coincidences. Or you might meet exactly the person you need to meet at the perfect right time to get a certain goal done. Or maybe a book is given to you by a friend with exactly the information that you needed at that particular moment. And we say, oh, it's just a coincidence. No, it's not just a coincidence. It's the universe guiding you. And these synchronicities, these little miracles, are normal. I've learned if they're not happening, I'm relying too much on my own will, and I'm not listening. Other ways the universe communicates with us is through our intuition. We have a marvelous communication system, which is virtually instantaneous and can know things without going through the linear steps to getting there. This is the gift of our intuition. In the West, of course, we're taught to disregard anything that isn't logical. So we tend to ignore our intuition to our detriment. Our universal self communicates through the intuition, those quiet little nudges to do this or that. They don't demand our attention. They're so quiet that it's easy to overlook them or to talk ourselves out of them. How often have you had the experience, as I think everybody has, where I had this thought I should do X and I ignored it? Later on, I just wished I'd paid attention. It was exactly what I needed to do. The intuition communicates through physical knowing, the hair rising on your neck, a strong feeling hitting in your stomach, feelings of panic when you think everything is A-okay, and absolute knowing you should do something without being able to explain why to anyone. Let me tell you about a personal experience. This isn't a dramatic one, it's just an everyday one. My husband and I recently had to go about buying a furnace. Our old one had come to the end of its life after 17 years. We got 3 bids. As I looked over those bids, I had a strong knowing that this one company was the best. Turns out, my husband had the exact same feeling. Now, this was not the same company that we had done business with for 17 years, the most established company in the area. I started to talk myself out of it, and then remembered that the intuition speaks through just those kinds of feelings. I made the decision to just notice what we discovered through the bidding process and see how it all worked out. As we went through online research about the different types of furnaces, we saw that our former company was going to sell us a mid-level furnace, which was going to be loud, according to all the reviews. And according to those online reviews, people had had some difficulties with that particular brand. I saw that the company about whom I'd had that strong hit was going to sell us a top-level furnace that was very quiet for a couple of $1,000s less. The online reviews of this furnace were actually quite good. As we proceeded through that bidding process and met with the different representatives of the different companies, we discovered that there were several examples of basic maintenance which had not been done by our original company, such as checking the backup batteries for the thermostat, so that when the electricity went off, the thermostat didn't stop working. The batteries were corroded or didn't exist at all, as it turned out. And the thermostat had actually stopped working after an electrical outage twice, requiring 2 visits from the company to get things going again. By the end of the process, I could see that our original intuitive knowing had absolutely been confirmed. So, what do we have to do to hear these communications? The following are some steps to listening to our inner guidance. Step 1, set the goal and then let go of control. Control just stops the communication with the universe. Second, we have to connect to our inner self and pray for guidance. Show me the next step, or however you want to word it. Step 3, we have to be willing to let go of our fear and trust that the universe has our back. When you become fearful, choose faith. I trust that the universe will handle this. You might have to make this choice several times a day. Step 4, let go of trying to control the timing of your goal and have faith that everything will happen at the perfect time as you grow into achieving that very goal. And step 5, remember what we think about expands. Our life happens from the inside out. So be grateful for what you have right now so that you'll have more to be grateful for in the future. And don't focus on what you lack. And step 6, thank the universe that you already have your goal. How do you know really when you've let go? You feel confident and you trust the universe is handling your goal in the right time and in the best possible way. You've let go of manipulating, forcing, doubting, and you have faith in the universe. So in summary, we've discussed our role, which is setting our own end goal and then letting go so the universe can do its job, working out the way to get there. Then we discussed how the ego gets in the way of the universe doing its work. The ego thinks it knows how to do everything. It makes you rely on your own will rather than paying attention to the guidance of the universe and letting it handle the steps. The ego is controlling. You may find yourself rigidly over-planning, holding tightly onto exactly how things are going to be done, controlling every aspect, obsessing about the goal, anxiously watching for progress. You fret when the timeline isn't your own, and you insist on clutching the reins of your life. Then we discussed how our universal self communicates with us if we've released our goal to the universe. We talked about synchronicities, those wonderful, unexplainable coincidences. And we talked about how it communicates through the intuition, which talks to us about through that profound knowing about something, through gentle little nudges to do this or that quiet little voice within, through physical responses. And finally, we talked about how you will know when you've let go. You will have let go of manipulation, forcing, and doubt, and will relax with trust that the universe has your back. If you've liked this vlog, as always, give it a thumbs up and please share it with as many people as you possibly can. And here are some other blogs that you might like. The first is 8 warning signs you're manifesting what you don't want. The second, 7 ways we block ourselves when chanting for a goal. And the third, know why it's important to forge your mind of faith. And now, please, I want to hear from you. I'm thoroughly enjoying your comments, and I'm always interested in topics that you'd be interested in hearing discussed. Interested to know what you like, what you don't like, anything that comes up for you. And I'll see you in 2 weeks.